Peace and blessings to everybody out there. I hope you guys are doing well. I want to give a thanks and honor to the Most High Yah. And I want to say hello to the 12 tribes of Israel as well as the stranger that is joined amongst Israel. I'm not going to be on here long. I hope not, because I'm tired. I'm not going to even lie. I'm pretty tired. But I'm going to get on here and I'm going to try to articulate these visions the best way that I can. So, yes, so I just say, I've said this before, that we are definitely in the time, and the reason why I say that is because I'm not just saying that just to say it. I'm saying it because it's the truth, and I believe it simply alone on faith and what He has shown me. You have to understand that I can literally feel the presence of reckoning, the presence of righteous anger within these visions that I'm being shown. So I can literally feel the anger, the righteous anger that the Most High has against this earth and what's coming to it. So it's not my job to sit up here and try to, dim those things down simply because people just don't want to hear it, or they have their own, resolve about it, or reservations about it. That's not up to me to try to, give to you. It's just the reality. I'm seeing these things, and it's my job to let you know. I mean, because I'm not gonna write all this stuff down and not tell anybody. Like, it's bad, and I mean, it's something already that I have to deal with this stuff and see it back to back, 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 and my head is literally exploding, literally inside. I feel like it's exploding. Like I want to get on top of a mountain top and yell to everybody, say, "This is the end. This is the end. This is the end. Now's the time. Now's the time." And even if I was to do that, I still wouldn't be doing justice. I can, and I have, in some instances, I have went in the streets and told people that, you know, and I don't give a damn about people calling me crazy, because the truth is that you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about when it all starts to come to pass. And not even what I'm talking about, because it's not me, but you're going to see exactly what the Most High has been saying from the beginning, that He's been sending people. He said in the end, He will pour out His Spirit among all flesh, that your old man will dream dreams, your young men will see visions, all of that. The list goes on, so I don't have to sit up here and try to prove to anybody anything. If you don't believe anything that I'm saying, then that's up to you. That's up to you. But don't believe me. Believe the one who's giving me these things to relate to you. That's what I'm saying. Okay? That's it. That's all I'm saying. So, there's this huge resurgence of Baal worship. And that's nothing new. But people are doing it and don't even realize that they're doing it. And people are worshiping the beast system and don't even understand or know that they're worshiping the beast system. And it's many ways to do it, and I keep saying this, but this is very important to grasp, because sorcery is in ordinary things. So it's in the little things, the subtlety. So you may be assimilated to an organized religion, and for instance, let's say Christianity, and you may belong to a denomination, easily you can say that for yourself, that you're following the law, you're following, the testimony of Jesus Christ, right? You'll say that. But you'll wear symbols like a cross, or have these Grecian naked angels in your house, or some people may even go the extent of removing the pale-faced Christ and putting up a burnt bronze looking Christ. And people don't understand that we're not supposed to have anything of the sort. No type of graven image at all. So the pale-faced Christ obviously is not the true looking, or the description of Hamashiach, the real Hamashiach. So that doesn't mean that you go and you put up a bronze burnt looking picture of him. I understand that you have to filter out all of the, miseducation and all of the corruption and the deception behind that. I understand it, but you can do that without replacing one graven image or symbol with another one. Okay? You can do that without it, because we are to worship him in spirit and in truth. And if we live by the Spirit, we walk by the Spirit. So it doesn't say anything about putting pictures up and hanging symbols up, wearing crosses, all that stuff. Like, that's all I'm saying. And a person who, like I said, you may be a person who's assimilated to this organized religion or organized Christianity, and you have these symbols that you're wearing, these insignias, these what's another word for them? Marks. You have them on you. You're wearing them. And you don't understand that that is a variation to the beast, and another form of worship, but blindly. So there's many different ways to worship the beast other than just worshiping the beast outrightly, like having the devil horns, having a skull and bones. It can be something as simple as having a Confederate flag, because that's the beast. It can be something as simple as having a swastika. That's a part of the beast. It can be something as simple as wearing the sun wheel. That's a part of the beast. It can be something as simple as having, angel wings. That's a part of the beast. You know what I mean? It's in the little things. And that's what people need to understand. Just like the Star of David in Judaism. That's a part of the beast. Islam. The list goes on. Okay? So there's many different ways. And Satan has created this assortment of pipelined routes that lead to his circuit of deception. So he has a spoke or a pipeline route for everybody. Or I said it at right the first time where I said he has a spoke, because remember, he is the prince of the air. He is Lucifer, the morning star. All of that crap. He has a spoke for everybody on his sun, right? He does. He has a spoke for every person on his sun, to appeal to every person on his sun. So it's very easy to worship the beast and be worshiping him blindly, and you still think that you are not worshiping the beast. So you have to understand that it's people who's actually doing it already. Literally. When you are operating in the spirit of iniquity, you are paying homage to the beast. You are. You are. That's just the truth. So there's no way around that. You're operating in the spirit of iniquity. Literally. Give me a second. I just want to make sure. I just want to check this. I want to make sure that the sound is transferable, because one thing I noticed is that, okay, cool. Alright, so it's picking up. Because the last time I tried to do it, it didn't pick up any of my voice. And I had to do this video over. That's why I feel like I'm tired. Because I spent like an hour literally talking, and it only picked up like maybe 2 seconds or yeah, about 2 seconds of me talking. And then the rest of it was just mute. So yeah, you can be worshiping the beast, and there's many different ways, the variations. You can have the 666 number. You can have a variation of that, like a lot of these logos. Like you can have like the eye. You can have the pyramid. You know, you can have like the devil horns. You can have the sun. You can have the sun with the wings on it. You can have a Nefertiti, you know, tattooed on you or wearing one. You can have a King Tut, or you know, any one of these ancient Egyptian gods. You can be wearing, you know, a symbol of like a beetle, because the Most High showed me that also, like the beetle or the spider also is significant to like I'm talking about like the spider, like the symbol of like you know, Spider-Man, who has like, he has like this spider symbol, like that is another variation or variation symbol to the beast. You know what I mean? You can still be worshiping the beast by having these things and wearing it. You can still be worshiping the beast by saying that you're not religious. You can still be worshiping the beast by saying that you're atheist, by saying that you're agnostic. Okay? You can. You can, and that's just the truth. So there's many different ways to pay your homage to the beast without, and you do it blindly, and it's in ordinary things. You know, so you can be doing it, don't actually even know. And that is what's happening in this hour, is that a lot of these people who's operating in the spirit of iniquity, who is coming against us, who is being persecuted in this hour, they don't even know and recognize that they are literally paying homage to Satan by doing the things that they're doing, by being deceived. And it was only by deception. That's what Scripture says. It's only by deception that these people are able to blindly operate in the spirit of iniquity without actually having, you know, without having knowledge that they are operating in the spirit of iniquity, because what they see as um, as good is really evil. You know, so that's just the reality. So I keep on saying that, but it's the truth. That's what people need to understand. So it's only, it gets worse from this point on, you know. So it doesn't get better. So there's no such thing as trying to pray for things to be rectified in this system. So I don't believe in that. I'm not going to pray for this system to be rectified, because I know that it's being destroyed, and the Most High is showing me that, and has shown me that back to back, and keeps on showing me that there is no peace that's going to come to this earth in terms of this system, because this system is wicked, and it has to fall, and it is falling, and it's going to, period. So there's no means of you trying to sit up there and pray, oh, pray for these plagues to stop, pray for these people to blah, 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 pray for them, their crops to be restored. No, none of that. None of that. Literally, none of that's going to happen. None of that's going to happen. This is it. Okay? This is it. There's no more time left. Literally. And I know that, and I believe that wholeheartedly. And I'm serious about it. I believe that wholeheartedly, because everything that he's shown me, I've already been watching to see if this stuff has come to pass. Now, I don't have to be up here showing you, like telling you, like, oh, see, I told you this was coming to pass. See, I told you this was coming to pass. No, I'm not one of those people. I tell you, bam, the blood is off my hands. So it ain't like I'm sitting up here, you know, sitting on this stuff, you know, nesting it, and not giving it to anybody. You know, this is important for people to know. You know, so I'm doing the best that I can, and it's hard enough that I have to see this stuff, hard enough that I have to tell you, you know, and for people to treat me like I'm crazy, you know, but I don't care, because at the end of the day, I know and I've seen the end and how it plays out, you know, and many of us have, you know, and it ain't pretty. It's not. But I'm here to tell you that, you know, it gets a lot worse from this point on. It does not get any better at all. It may seem like it gets better for y'all who's sitting up there taking that money, who's sitting up there operating the spirit of iniquity to come against the Most High's people. Y'all think that it's getting better for you, but you guys are only doing those things to save yourself away from the wrath of Satan, which is what we're under right now. Okay? Y'all think that y'all are really doing yourself a justice by doing that stuff. But in actuality, you're just saving yourself away from being targeted and being or persecuted, right? You're saving yourself from that. But you don't understand that in doing so, you are setting yourself up for pending destruction, which is the wrath of the Most High Yah, which has been given to his son, the Son of Man, Hamashiach, Yahushua Hamashiach. Okay? And he's going to enact judgment. Literally. And his people is going to enact judgment with him. And Scripture says that. Because after that, that's it. Nothing will be able to escape the wrath of Yahweh. Nothing. So you can keep on playing now if you want to. This is the season now where you need to repent. All of us, including me. All of us need to repent. Because we need to be renewed every day. Scripture says there's nothing good going on in the minds of man. So don't you think I know my flesh? I know. I pray every day that the Most High Yah allows me to stay straight on the narrow path. 100%. I pray that I do not become swallowed in vanity. I pray that I don't become swallowed in pride, self-righteousness, anger, rage, unforgiveness, all of that. I pray against that, because I know how my flesh is. And it's very easy, because oftentimes we feel like we're doing the right things and we're abiding, you know, by the law, we're keeping the testimony and we're not sinning, but, you know, we have these heavy, you know, hidden transgressions in us, and we're not able to really see those. So we have to pray for the Most High to reveal that stuff to us, so that we will be able to repent for it. And this is the time now. This is the time now when we can do that. And every day ask for renewal of the spirit, renewal of the mind, body, soul, and spirit, so that we can continue on and get what we need. Because yesterday was the past. Today is today's a blessing, and tomorrow is not promised. So that's just the truth. So when are you going to take advantage of the opportunity that you have to repent and surrender wholeheartedly to the Father? You know, and that's just really what it is. You know, but without further ado, let me get into this. So I'm going to share a few of them with you. I can't share them all today because I'll be up here all day long. I don't want to keep y'all. I'm already at 20 minutes. This was on the 29th of July. Then I saw this horrific sight. Excuse me. And my nose was just itching, so I don't want people thinking, and you know, the enemy does that very strategically. I've been telling you guys that many times. Like, it's like every time I get in front of a camera, like, they start doing this weird shit with the, you know, with the stuff that they do to us. The electronics. Then I saw this huge, horrific sight of a storm. This storm was not just in the sky, but also roaring in the waters, the sea. And what was being, or I put slashed appeared to be deployed was a fleet of chariots, UFOs. They had this metallic gold and metallic sea green. I put Neptune green, but not to give glory to the ideology of that scientific teaching of, or I mean, astrological teaching of celestial bodies like planets, like Neptune. So I'm not saying anything in reference to that. I only say Neptune green is to refer to the color of what they have deemed, quote, Neptune, unquote, to look like in terms of its color. So that's the only way that I explained it, because I can't think of like that green. Maybe it's a retro green, or maybe not a retro, maybe like a retro green, I guess, or retro like teal. But that was the best way that I could explain it. It's metallic. It was like that kind of color, but it was metallic. One in particular ascended out of the water. This was very dark. So this one that was metallic gold and metallic sea green, or metallic retro teal. Not even so much retro teal. It's more of a greenish color. So that's why I said Neptune green. So like, I guess neon green, close to neon green, I guess. I think that's about, yeah, close to neon green. So that one ascended. I saw a fleet of UFOs, chariots, and notice I've been seeing this a lot. So I know that this is most certainly coming. And they're already doing that in the sky. You know, there's been people who have caught sightings, you know, but what people need to understand is that with this stuff, you get raptured by it. And what I mean by raptured by it is you marvel at it. You get taken by it. You get, you know, pleased, you know, in terms of the eyes and by it, you know, and you get taken, you know, and like the song, like by Anita Baker, and I'm going off tangent just a little bit, but it's still one and the same with what I'm talking about. At the song Anita Baker, the song Rapture, where she says, she says, call up in the rapture of love, nothing else can compare. What I feel the magic of you, the feelings always do, or something like that. I can't really remember, but it's something to that nature. But it's just, you know, even with that way of her talking about the song Rapture, she's caught up in the rapture of love. So she's caught up in the moment, you know, the romanticism behind it, the superfluousness of it, you know, the gayness of behind, you know, the love, you know, what it smells like, what it sounds like, what it feels like, what it tastes like, you know. So that's how it is, you know. People are raptured by a lot of this pseudoscience, which have been deemed the UFO community, because they have their own little culture. And I know, because I was a part of it at one point, you know, a long time ago, when I believed in this stuff too. You know, just like how I believed that there was other aliens or other life forms that existed, extraterrestrials that existed in far distant planets, you know, that of which we cannot even measure in terms of its light speed, its distance from this round earth theory. I believed that crap too, you know, but it wasn't until I got into this understanding, and it made sense. None of it made sense to me that the stuff that they say makes sense does not make sense. So a lot of people are raptured by the the sound of it. They're raptured by the mayhem behind, or the extraness behind, or the overratedness behind when you mention UFOs. You know, immediately they connect that with aliens. Okay, when you mention aliens, immediately you connect that with UFOs. So who's okay when you think of UFOs, right? Automatically you think of these freakish looking beings with these recessed eyes, big old eggheads, you know, and long elongated bodies and fingers. You know, sometimes they green, sometimes they gray, sometimes they blue, all this stuff. So you think that those things are actually in these things flying it. And then when you just think of aliens alone, you think of them flying a UFO. Okay? So immediately our minds have been trained to think or to synthesize these things already, because we've been synthesized. It's been programmed into our minds. So this is nothing new, you know, but I have to bring it up just to make a point. So you have a lot of people who are part of this culture who's believing this stuff. So when they really see it, they marvel at it and they're raptured by it. And then some people don't even have to actually even see one in actuality. They're raptured by the ideology, the philosophy behind it. You know, they're raptured by the logos, the words behind it. You know, so that is how Satan is going to warp a lot of these people. It's just with his signs and wonders. And he's been doing that since the beginning of his deception in the garden, you know, with man. So that has never stopped. There's always been some man that he has indwelt with an anti Hamashiach, or anti Most High spirit, that has always exalted himself above the Most High and claimed to himself to be God. There's always been, you know, these fallen angel spirits and their spawns who have been deified, worshipped, you know, and these people have made it a thing to adopt these traditional teachings and practices. And you see it today happening. It's just a resurgence of what happened. That's why it ain't nothing new under the sun. Thus, sun worship. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing new under Satan, who is the sun. Because remember, I said every spoke that he got on his sun, he got something for you. It's just the truth. Okay? So don't be taken by this stuff when you see this. And I said this before, but I'm telling you, do not be taken by this stuff when you see it. Because these people alone is going to fall. They're going to marvel at it and wonder after it. Literally. Okay? So I go on to say that one in particular ascended out of the water. This was very dark. I'm talking about the whole entire, this whole entire vision specifically. And I said this one in particular, I saw what seemed like chariots, disc-shaped, were using their tractor beams to either destroy or rapture people or something. I said, quote, rapture, unquote, people or something. So after I saw, you know, this whole storm, like the sky was black, I saw the sea roaring like ferociously. It was wild. I ended up seeing a few chariots in the sky, and then I saw this one in particular take or sort of take all the focus and hovered above the water. It descended out of the sea, and that one was the metallic gold, the metallic neon green color. And then after that, I saw like this at this. It was another location, but it was of chariots, and they were shooting like these tractor beams, which was like the beam of light that they shoot down, and they abduct its prey. That's what I saw. This is on the 30th. Okay, so that was the 29th. This is on July 30th. Today I saw a very disturbing yet horrific sight. First I saw what appeared, what, I'm sorry, first I saw what was an altar. It had this red banner with some seal of a strange engraving on it. So it was this red banner, right? And it was an altar for sure, you can tell, because it was a red banner that was on the wall, and then you can tell there was things that was placed underneath the banner, so I could tell it was automatically an altar. But there was this seal that was on the banner, and it was circled, but I couldn't make out exactly the engraving that was on the seal, because it was an engraving for sure, but I couldn't make out what it was. And I said, these ornaments of some kind. I said there was also these ornaments of some kind that was on the altar. It was an ornament of hands. So one ornament had its hands like this. It was one ornament that had the hands of like 5 holding up like this. And then they were throwing up the beast symbol like the 666. This vision clearly spoke out as Freemasonry. Immediately I knew. I'm like, this is Freemasonry. So it was one hand that had the 5 holding up, and then the other one had the 666, which I'm not going to throw up, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Even the blood gang, they throw it up too. It's the same exact thing, or some people throw it up as a signal of okay, as a signal of perfecto, all that type of stuff. That's what it was. It was that symbol. So I knew immediately that was Freemasonry. And what people need to understand is that we are underneath the banner of Freemasonry, and that's what it means now. I hear you, Father. I didn't know how I was going to explain this, but now I do. So we are under the banner of Freemasonry, okay? It is the spearhead of the javelin, okay, that Satan is using, okay? It literally is. It literally is, okay? I go on to say, then I saw a body of water, ocean, again, and the sky was very dark, like how I saw yesterday in the previous vision that I just read to you. I saw yet again a large chariot, UFO, rise up out of the water and repose, hover above the water. This vexed my spirit greatly, so it was that again, another chariot, doing the same thing. So I know that this is about to be revealed. The fallen angels are about to reveal themselves, by, pulling out the chariot and stuff. Doing their signs and wonders, all that crap. Okay, this one was on the 31st. Then I saw a mountaintop. Below was the roaring sea, with huge boulders of rock planted in the sea, like if you've seen the Atlantic Ocean, like how there's icebergs planted in the sea, that's how these boulders of mountain was planted in the sea. The sight appeared to be very chaotic. As I said, the sea was roaring ferociously, and the sky was very dark, like the heavens or sky was yelling. And in the midst of seeing this, I saw that sun worship symbol that has the 2 wings beside it. The color was a mixture of a silver and gold. This was a petrifying sight. So, the ancient Egyptian symbol that has the sun and then it has the 2 wings on the side of it? That's what I saw. But it was just gold and silver mixed together. Okay? So, like I said again, we're under the banner of Freemasonry, which is literally emboldened by sorcery, sun worship. Lucifer, the son of the morning star, the son of the morning. Okay? Literally. It's just the resurgence of that. So it's never died. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. Under the sun of morning. The morning star. Satan. Ain't nothing new. Okay? Nothing new. Later I saw the shape of a pyramid figure, maybe a monument. You see how all this stuff is one and the same? You see how all this stuff is one and the same? So like I said, there's many different variations of how you can worship the beast. You can literally be somebody who believes in UFOs and alien life on other planets and stuff, and you believe that the earth is really round, and you are somebody who calls yourself a Christian, or somebody who, well, if you really truly understand it, there's no way that you can believe the round earth theory. There's no way that you can believe that there's other planets existing in the second heaven, which they call space. There's no way that you can. There's no way you can believe any of the pictographs, nor the artistic, graphs or pictures that they've come out with to show you that they've been to these planets, or that they've sent rovers out into the second heaven, which is what they call space, to take pictures of these so-called luminary bodies. So if you're somebody who believes that, then obviously you are blind. It's obvious that you are blind. Because if you still believing that the world is round and we're in 2020 right now, then you are literally blind. That don't mean that you can't come out of it, because you still have time, but it's only so many times we can beat the drum, especially to people who are deaf to the beating of the drum, and it's like they refuse to clean their ears out. They like being deaf when you don't have to be deaf. They love cleaning their ears out with Q-tips, with dirty Q-tips at that. They'll clean them out with Q-tips, but they'll clean them out with dirty Q-tips. So it's like you're doing yourself no justice by even sticking a Q-tip in your ear, especially when it's a dirty one. Okay, so you're putting that same guck that's keeping you deaf back into your ears. Okay, so it does not make any sense. Okay, so you can still be worshiping the beast by even literally believing that the earth is round, by even believing that there's alien life that exists, because you deny the fact that the word specifically says that these people, these things, they're not people, these things are literally demons, fallen angels. Okay? So if you don't grasp that concept and that truth alone, then there's no way that you can say that you're walking in truth wholeheartedly. No way. So you can have a UFO tatted on you. Worship beast. You worshiping the beast. You can have a pyramid tatted on you. You worshiping the beast. You can have just an eye tatted on you. You worshiping the beast. You can have a little blue eye. I can't remember what that was called, but I used to see a lot of people with that thing on. It's like a blue eye, and you hang it on your shirt, or you hang it on like your bag, and sometimes they got it on the keychain, and it comes in blue and it comes in red. I haven't seen it in any other colors, but it's like some, I know it's witchcraft. That's what I do know. And that is a symbol of the beast. So you can have that, be wearing that symbol of the beast. You can have, you can be wearing lightning bolts. Clear indication that that's the symbol of the beast. So, like I said, there's many different variations. Satan has created an assortment of delectations for everybody of every different faith system, every different color, background, so on and so forth. Gender, age, group, so that you'll be able to be deceived. So that's the thing, what you need to understand. There's many different variations of worshiping the beast and his image. Okay? Literally, many different variations. It's not just one thing. And it's not just on the nose things. And like I said, sorcery is in ordinary things. So it's so subtle, literally. And the Most High showed me also with a vision, 2 visions of a Jezebel spirit. And it was the most wicked thing that I've ever seen. And that's literally the that's the seduction behind the subtlety of his deception. You know, the beauty behind it. Being caught up in the beauty, being raptured in it. Like I said, that's what Anita said. She's caught up in the rapture of love. You know, people who are blind are caught up in the rapture of the love of not the truth, the love of deception, the love of unrighteousness, the love of wickedness. Literally. Do you know that people are literally worshiping the beast right now, and they'll tell you that they're not worshiping the beast, especially if you bring it up to them and let them know that they're worshiping the beast. Literally. They'll tell you, no, I'm not. What are you talking about? That's a lie. They'll say the devil is a liar. That's what they'll say. But they don't even recognize that they're literally operating in the spirit of iniquity, so they're worshiping the beast, paying homage to Satan. Literally. Later I saw the shape of a pyramid figure, maybe a monument or a structure created to resemble a perfume bottle. Now this is the only way that I can explain this, because like I said, it could have been a structure, but it was most certainly a structure. Actually, let me say that. But it was in like it was a pyramid shape, but it looked like a perfume bottle, and I'll explain in a minute. This structure also had this gold cap sort of topping on it. That's what made me really think that it was it kind of looked like a perfume bottle. The base of it, or bottle, was a bile green coloration. That's why. Because for one, it had this gold capping around it, kind of like the pyramid, on the dollar bill, and it has like the eye that hasn't, it's the eye descending on top of the base of the pyramid. And it was kind of like that, but the top of it was gold. But it was like, it didn't have like that traditional point at the top of it. It was, I guess, covered by this topping, this gold topping or sealing of some kind. And that's why I go on to say that it resembled to me kind of like a perfume bottle, and it was green. The base of it was green because it looked like it was transparent, like as if the pyramid structure, or structure to resemble a bottle, perfume bottle, looked like it was transparent, and it had this green sort of liquid consistency. Then this black flood that looked like pests at first was secreting from the bottle or structure. What looked like pests immediately was liquidated and was just what I can only dignify as black bile, a tsunami of it. So it turned into like this black sort of tsunami of a black bile, what I called it. So it secreted from this bottle, and like I said, the only reason why I described it as looking like pests is because it looked like it was like moving, kind of like if you guys have seen the movie, and I hate to bring up references of movie, but this helps me explain it. If you guys have seen the movie, what is it called? Venom. And I can't think of what the hell they called that crap. They called it some symbiosis. They called it some symbiosis or something like that. Something of that nature. But it was like crawling like that, like black stuff. That's what it looked like. It looked like that. And then it liquidated. And then it spread. But I saw this from like a topical sort of view. But I could see it clear as day exactly what what was happening. But it was like all this had spread, and immediately the things that came to mind was infection, spread, taintedness, etc. And like I said in another video, before my last video, I explained to you guys seeing the color green as well. That was in another vision that I had in the water. And green is attributed to, sorry, I know I'm scratching, but I'm itching again, so forgive me. Green is attributed to, like bile, and like liver secretion or bowel secretion. It's not a good thing. I also explained to you guys that I also had this other vision where I saw this dragon, but the dragon was not filled in. It was like it was this green essence or green spirit, and it was like it was connected to the dragon, but it didn't. It was almost as if like the dragon wasn't filled out because the spirit wasn't in the dragon, you know, or the dragon was waiting to be filled with the spirit, but it was like moving like as if like the dragon kept on snapping, like trying to make an attack, like how a snake, you know, how a snake snaps or strikes. Like that's what it looked like. The dragon kept on trying to strike, but it was unsuccessful simply because the green bile, or the essence of the spirit of green bile, was bile, like Baal. That's where bile comes from, is Baal, or Baal comes from bile. Uh, it did not, it wasn't filled, so it couldn't make its strike or make its attack, you know. And I already gave the interpretation of that on another video, so you can go and find the video of that, because I'm not going to do that, because I just want to keep it strictly this, okay? So, yes. So, when you think about perfume, you know, what does perfume do? People spray perfume, people spray cologne as a means to what people think to just smell good, but in essence, you know, um, it attracts people. The scent of it attracts people. And although you cannot see perfume, the scent of it stemming from your clothes, you know, you can smell it. You can even taste it too, because sometimes if somebody has a loud perfume, and sometimes if it's cheap, and perfume, I'm talking about cologne too, it's the same thing. Cologne, perfume, same thing. You know, I mean, well, perfume for women, cologne for men, but I'm just saying in the sense where you spray it on your body, okay? So let me not even confuse the two. I don't want to hear people talking about, oh, no, it's not the same. Okay, whatever. All right? But, because I don't even wear cologne. So, but, not anymore at least. But, anyways, you know, you can still taste it sometimes when it's like a cheap cologne or cheap perfume. You know, you can still taste it if it's loud. So, you know, at the end of the day, whether you choose to just say, oh, well, I spray it on myself because I want to smell good, I like the way it smells, naturally that's going to attract people automatically. And like I said, although you cannot see perfume or cologne stemming from the person that it's sprayed on, you can still smell it. You can still, it's still attractable or traceable. Okay? That's the thing, even with the spirit of deception and the spirit of beguilement, the spirit of seduction, the spirit of sorcery. You know, they all worship, sun worship, all of that stuff. You know, it spreads like that. You can't see it being, and here's the thing. The only way that you can't is unless you are blind. Unless you are blind. Okay? And you are one of those people who loveth not the truth. Okay? That's why you cannot see it. So, some don't see it. They don't hear it when it's being spoken. Okay? They don't feel it. Okay? They only feel what they want to. Just like being emotionally aroused due to some, you know, some emotional need to hear what you want to hear. You may go and seek out that day that you want to go to church that day, and just you want to hear that you made apparent that you want to hear a word from the Lord, right? But deep down inside, you may be misconstruing what you really truly need from the Lord, which is the real true word from the Lord, as opposed to you really wanting to hear what's good for you, based solely alone on emotion. So you go and you get ready, put on your Sunday best and you go to church, right? So you go to church and, you know, preacher's up there talking to you. I mean, preacher's up there giving a sermon, and they end up saying something, you know, and you think you get ready to, oh, but that's not what you heard, right? That's not what you came for. So you getting a little bit teased because you waiting to hear what you came here to hear, right? And then he say something that's along the lines of what you've been emotionally aroused to feel, or what you've been emotionally waiting to hear. And then you take it. Okay, it's just like that. Even though you did not see it, okay? He sprayed it. And just like, even, and I'm saying spray it to say what he spoke, okay? What he spoke, okay? Like I say it, don't spray it, you know? It's like that. He sprayed it out, but you did not see it. You didn't see it. But what he sprayed out was exactly what you wanted to smell. That's what you wanted to smell. That's what you came to smell. You came to smell that specific aroma. And it don't matter what type it was. It don't matter what type. It could have been cheap. It could have been a different brand. Bottom line was that he sprayed it and it smelled good to you. That's what you wanted to smell. That's what you wanted to feel. That's what you wanted to hear. That's what you wanted to taste. So you took it and you ran with it. And now you're blind and you're thinking that you're operating in the spirit of righteousness and in truth and understanding, but really you're operating in the spirit of iniquity, confusion, deception, unrighteousness, and wickedness. This is important, so you need to hear this. I got one more after this. And then I saw this disheveled red flag blowing in the wind as if it was hanging on by literally a thread. It looked as though it was mounted to a flagpole. But not only was there this torn, ripped up flag, but there was also another flag that was mounted to this flagpole as well. So you know how they flag, I keep saying this, you know how they fly flags. Sometimes you can fly two flags, right? They'll fly one flag, and there'll be one at the top, which represents the nation, you know. And then they'll have a second flag up underneath that one. That's how it was. Only thing is, it was a few centimeters underneath the torn one, which was the second one. And it was red with a blue ribbon striped, a thumb underneath the middle of the flag. So I said ribbon stripe. I described ribbon stripe, blue line, as ribbon stripe only because it was thick and, you know, it kind of looked like a ribbon. Not literally like a ribbon, but it had that royal blue texture like a ribbon. You know, because it was shiny. The whole flag alone was shiny. A thumb underneath. So it wasn't going directly through the middle of the flag, but it was like a thumb underneath, like a centimeter underneath. And, or maybe 2 centimeters underneath. Which was impeded by a seal of some kind, a symbol. So I saw that ribbon was like I said, 2 centimeters below the midpoint of the flag, and what impeded that was a symbol that was on top, which was like a moon. It was like a circle symbol, and it was white. So I looked that up, and the only flag that I could find that is parallel to that is the Laos flag. The Laos flag of East Asia. So, and that is red. So remember the vision I just relayed to you about the flag, not the flag, the banner of the red banner, and it had like some white engraving that I couldn't tell, but it was in like crystal white. It was like off-white, but I couldn't tell what the engraving was. But nonetheless, it was white, form of white, like eggshell off-white kind of. But when you think of flag, You think like, why do nations, why do they fly flags? They fly flags and it represents a state of pride, or a symbol of pride, a symbol alone. You know, some nations, most nations, they fly flags to represent independence, to represent liberation, to represent sovereignty, to represent, I said pride already, what's another one? Patriotism. To represent, but mostly, you know, um, what the Most High has shown me is by way of this flag, is that especially that flag looked exactly like the Laos flag, because that's the only one that I can actually find that fits the description. It looks exactly like that. The only difference is that the Laos flag, the blue stripe is going directly through the middle, and it's not 2 centimeters off from the midpoint, with a circle white moon on top of it, or in the middle, on top of the blue ribbon. It is literally in the middle of the 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 flag, the Laos flag. So the real Laos flag, it has the ribbon going straight through the middle with the white moon on top of, or in the middle of the flag, which is in the middle of the blue stripe. So, but that nonetheless, it was exactly the same. So whether it was down below or above, it is exactly the same. And the thing that spoke out to me when I researched that was communism. And red is representative of the communism as well. That's why they usually have like a red field, and then you'll have like sometimes a shield embolden it, and then you'll have the dividing or a cross on it, and then you'll have like a coat of arms, which is like a symbol or an emblem, an insignia of some kind. And that's what it's like with the flag. It's just like that, you know. Even when you see some nations who have similar colors, like UK and USA have similar colors, as well as Thailand, it's red, white, and blue, you know, and that is representative of the allyship that they have with one another, or the kinship that they have with one another. That's something that I researched also, but I kind of figured that out just by observing. I'm like, oh, okay, why does these flags look similar? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, they have to have some type of, you know, unionhood with one another to be having the same colors, even though, you know, the arrangements are different. You know, they have to have some type of unionship. So, and I researched as well, and that was obviously shown to me as well. But communism, people need to understand that, you know, the Most High showed me that communism is ruling as well. But communism is only just a part of it, you know. But they won't tell you that we're underneath a communistic ruling or rulership. You know, people won't say that. And it's totalitarianism. You know, like I said, the spearhead is Freemasonry, emboldened by sorcery. So up under all of that is communism. Socialism is just like, is you cannot say you are a socialist without saying that you are a communist. And this is the truth. You cannot say that you are a fascist without saying that you are a communist. You cannot say you're a conservative without saying that you're a communist. Oh, shit. Oh, the enemy was mad about me for saying that. Oh, I had to pick this up. So yeah, you cannot say that you are a conservative without saying that you're a communist. You cannot say that you are a Leninist without saying that you are a communist. You cannot say that you are a Marxist without saying that you are a communist. And that's just the truth, because it's the same thing. Literally, if you do the research, you'll look it up. So, you know, and if you go and you look at Russia, Russia was the first communistic state, or I'm sorry, not state, country They're the ones to establish it. You know, they really brought it to its. They set the bar for communism, literally. You know, they really did. They set the bar without giving glory to them. I'm just saying that's just the truth. You know, so I'm not on here to talk about politics, but the thing is that I cannot discuss any of the things that I've said without discussing, of course, exactly what was shown to me. So these things are happening, you know, and I'm not one to talk about politics because I don't give a damn about politics. I know that it's not working in the benefit of us and never did. So I know it's working against us 100%. And politics is nothing more than a psyop or cloak to hide the fact that it's all sorcery that's ruling it or that's fueling it. So I don't care about politics. So if you're one of those people to come on here and start talking about politics with me, I'm going to delete you and block you, period. But like I said, even with the Black Lives Matter movement, and I have to bring this up, that movement is literally, people don't even understand, just everyday people, right? Average folk. They are part of that coalition and don't even know that they are literally a part of a communistic coalition. And you've had a co-founder of Black Lives Matter come forward and actually say that that is Marxist. But here's the thing. They always create all of these relative terms to try and throw people off. Okay, it's called neological ism or neologicism. I'm gonna show you. You know, they always do this, and this is why they always throw people off. Okay, and I'm gonna get back to. We're still on the subject of the flag, but I just want to show you guys this. Oh, I wasn't there. Okay. Yeah, neologism. Okay, so this is the definition of this etymology dictionary. I'll post it up too online. It says practice of translation from French, practice of innovation in language, the use of new words or old words in new senses. From French, neologisme. I know I said it wrong, but from neo, which is new, Greek logos, meaning word, and plus ism, so meaning new word or expression. It's from 1803, neological, characterized by new words or phrases. Okay? It says a newly invented word or phrase. Neology, coinage. Neologism, the act of inventing a word or phrase. Okay? So let's look at ism. Okay? It's implying a practice, system, doctrine, etc. Okay, so that's what that means, ism. So anytime that you see all this ism, communism, Judaism, you know, Catholicism, all this stuff, you know that that is a doctrine, automatically. Okay, automatically you know that that is a doctrine. But neological, when you think of neo, you think of new, like new, this innovation. Okay, and then logical or logo, you think of the word logo, logos, the word. Okay, and then of course ism, I just told you guys, which is a doctrine, a practice, and then in the form of an expression or a new way of saying it. Okay, so it's a refresher, you know, but they innovated. And I've said this before. You know, I'm just giving you the definition of a word that basically defines what I've said. So people have to understand that they've just created all these terms like Marxism, you know, Marxist. To be a Marxist is the same as communism. But people will say, no it ain't. I'm not a communist. If they say that they're a Marxist, they're saying that they're not a communist. when the same person who created or coined the phrase or came up with the ism or came up with the logos of the word communism created Marxism, Leninism, as well as liberalism, socialism, all of that stuff is the same thing. But they've created all of these terms, these neological terms, okay, to confuse people, okay, into thinking that this term is not in association with this one. This term is not in association with that one, when all of it is the same, okay? Literally, all of it is the same. Okay? That's just the truth. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. So, you thinking that you are doing yourself a solid and doing your community a solid by marching in the street, which has done nothing for our people, or for anyone who is marching in the street at all. But you have to understand that when you malign yourself with these coalitions, these people have a motive and they have a direct opposition, and that is against you, because their coalition cannot stand without it standing on the foundations of communism, literally, totalitarianism, Freemasonry, sorcery. You know, and that's what people need to understand. All those people who's marching and stuff like that, a lot of them are Freemasons. They are a part of a lot of that crap. A lot of them are. I'm talking about the ones who's investing their so-called, who's investing their money into that, who's actually sitting up there trying to act like they're really doing the community, you know, a service by showing up, doing all that crap, doing all them walks. And I'm just saying, a lot of them are. And that's just the truth. And you need to get that in your thick skull. And all you can do, you can easily have these things revealed to you just simply alone by research. And not only just so much that, you can just pray and fast, and he'll show it to you. The same way he showed it to me, he'll show it to you. Okay? He has no respects of no person. So I'm not anything. I'm just a regular dude. Okay? Just like anybody else. But I'm just telling you that. So all this conservatism is the same as communism. It's the same. So there's no such thing. Okay, so you have to be careful, because the word is clear. The word is clear. The truth, the word of the living Elohim, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh, is clear as day. Is clear as day. Okay? And First John says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and God was the Word. Okay? In the beginning was the Logos. Okay? So it was already established at the foundations of, at the beginning of the foundations of the world. Okay? And we know this, I just have to bring that up. Okay? So there's no way that you can be deceived by anyone else unless you are operating in the spirit of iniquity. That's the only way that you can be deceived. That's the only way that you can be deceived. There's no other way. Because if you're walking in truth and understanding, you're walking in light, the only true light. Okay, and who is that light? HaMashiach. Because in the beginning was the Word. Who is the Word? The Logos. The Word was with Yah. And Yah was the Word. Okay? Give me a second. I need to kill this bug. It's the summertime, so I get a lot of bugs. So forgive me. So yeah, that's what people need to understand. Okay? So yeah, when I saw that flag, that was a clear indication, communism. Okay? And even red is the color that is representative of or symbolizes communism and bloodshed. That's why they always have red in the flag, which symbolizes the bloodshed that the nation has basically paid for in lieu of fighting for their independence or obtaining their independence. Where is that? Okay, this is from the Britannica. I'm gonna upload this too. The flag of Laos. Okay, I just want to read to you this. Okay, so and here's the thing. Now, when I said that there was one flag up top that was ripped, now I can't tell you what flag that could have been, but it was a flag. It most certainly was a flag. You know, so I was pondering and kind of, you know, thinking like, what could that one have been? Because naturally, you don't hang two national flags on the same pole. You know, so I was trying to figure out like what flag was above that, and you know, I began to think like, okay, well maybe it represents, you know, the tearing down of the old flag, you know, and having this new or neo, you know, centric flag or nation that has been developed, you know, or that remains after the tearing down of the old way. You know, that's what I at least began to think. And then I had looked up the old flag of Laos, and that one is, of course, it is linked to Hinduism, which has an elephant. It was like a tri-headed elephant that was on the flag originally, and it was all red, and it just had like this white tri-headed elephant, you know, and that is connected to Hinduism, which still they practice that. So witchcraft, and like I said, I kept on telling you, communism is connected to it's under the banner of Freemasonry, which is the spearhead, and it's emboldened by sorcery. Okay, it's just that simple. It's wicked as hell. Okay, I don't even have to read this because you can go and look it up on your own, and I'll put that in the description box. So I'm getting off the subject of that, okay, because this one is important as well, and it just literally sums up everything that I've been saying. I had this August 1st. Today I saw a huge Chariot UFO again, right? It was deploying something from the tractor beam, or it was rapturing something. After this action, it hovered in a circular motion, then took off, only to reveal a small fleet of UFO chariots. So that one hovered, that one that I saw, that blocked the view of all the other chariots, and then it hovered and circled, and then took off, and then I saw a fleet of UFO chariots. And then I saw the Freemason symbol, which was the right side, or no, upside down V, right side up V, interconnected, with the G in the middle of it. That's the symbol that I saw. So, yeah. Which just sums up exactly what I've been saying the whole entire time. So people need to understand that, you know, these things, you know, is very, very important for us to grasp, because if we're not fully open-minded to, because scripture says the spirit of iniquity doeth work. So Satan's doing his job. He is doing his job. He has always been on his job. He has never took a day off. Never took a break. He's doing his job 24/7. Because he is adamant in trying to prove the Most High wrong by saying that you don't have not one living soul on this earth that I can't get, that I can't taint, that I can't corrupt, that I can't use for my evil deeds. He's keen on trying to convince the Most High that there's not a soul on this living earth that wants to truly do right, who wants to truly live by the Most High's, the living Most High's living, his living word. He's keen on proving that to him. So he's doing his job, and he's doing it well simply because, and I'm not giving glory to no devil, but I'm saying he's doing it well in this, in the aspect of people giving their dominion to him, so that he can just say, see, I told you. You know, just like with Job. Just like with Job. You know, and the Most High was like, man, go ahead and test them. You know, go ahead and test them. You know, and people need to understand that, you know, pride cometh before destruction. And this is something that is big for all of us to understand. And not only that, but sin is the wages of death. So, and those who committed sin is a servant of sin. And that's the truth. So when you commit sin, you are a servant of the one who literally inspired sin. And that is Satan. So you are working for him. So it's our job to understand our place in this whole thing, because we have a role to play in this as well. It's not just him taking the credit for everything, him taking the blame for everything. We have a role to play in this as well. We give over our dominion, over our power for him to deploy demons to inhabit our vessels and use us, you know, for his evil deeds. And I always say this, but this is important for people to realize. It is. Okay? You have to realize that this material world is fading away. There is no way possible that there's going to be a rectification of this system, of this world. As it is now, it is going down. There's no way that it's going to be rectified, because this system is an abomination before the Most High Yahweh. And man's hearts have waxed cold, and they loveth not the truth. So you can pray all you want for rectification, but it's not going to happen. You'll be wasting your time. I'm telling you. So you better pray that your eyes get opened and continue to get revealed each and every day for things that you are blind to. Continue to allow for the Most High to work through you. The Holy Spirit, the Ruach, to work through you. Because if we don't do that, then we are not doing our due diligence. And we're not doing what we should be doing as watchers and as warriors for the gospel. And that's just the truth, you know. So I say steadfast, stay watchful, stay prayed up, because I'm going to get off of here. I'm already reached like an hour. I'll be on here doing another, revealing to you guys some more visions, which I am, but because I didn't even get to say everything that I wanted to say, but I said what I needed. But like I said, don't believe anything. If you don't believe me, believe the one who's giving me these things to tell you. Believe that person, which is the Most High Yah. HaMashiach. The Ruach, Holy Spirit. You know, so I don't get caught up in names and stuff like that. So don't let that, you know, Don't let it stop you. But the truth is that you need to know the name. You need to know the name of the Father. You need to know the name of Mashiach. You know, that's just all I'm saying. I feel comfortable using the name Yah. I feel comfortable using the name Yahushua Mashiach because that's the name that I called out when he was exorcising the demons out of me. When he was delivering me from those demons, the name that I was calling out was Yahushua Mashiach. Hosanna. You know, save me. That's what I was calling out. You know, so that's what is comfortable for me to say. Okay? But steadfast, stay watchful. I'm telling you, it gets a lot worse than what we're seeing now. And make no mistake about it, the media is doing their job as well by showing you exactly what they want to show you. Okay? Because they've always desensitized us, and they've always been preparing us for this quote-unquote new world order. Okay? They've already prepped us for it. We've already been living in this virtual, you know, sort of, you know, system. You know, so it's not going to be anything that we haven't been prepped for. The only ones that are going to react to it and be emotionally aroused in a negative way is the ones. I mean, I'm not saying you're supposed to react to it positively, but the only ones that it's basically the lid's gonna be blown off their heads is because simply they love it not the truth. They have not been prepared. They won't accept the truth, and you know they put too much faith and trust into the system. So they're the ones who's going to be let down by it, especially when it starts to crumble. So, excuse me, it only is going to look like the system is getting better for those people who are conspiring against us, who is operating the spirit of iniquity, the people who are worshiping the beast, who has been worshiping the beast, and who will go on to worship the beast and continue to worship the beast until the end of time. So it will look like to them that the system is getting better for them only because they have chosen to malign themselves with Satan. Okay? Blindly, of course. A lot of it will be done blindly by most of them. But then you have the other part who knows what they're doing. Okay? And it will look like as if it's getting better for them because they still get to ride around their fancy cars. They still get to go buy their nice lavish clothes, silks, you know, furs, and all types of nice bedding sets, and live in big houses, and eat, you know, and eat expensive food, which is garbage. Okay? They gonna still believe that because that's the type of of lie that they're painting to the world, especially with the media alone. And I lost my train of thought about what I was about to say about that. Help me, Father. What was I going to say about that? I lost my train of thought. Yikes. My brain's shutting down, so forgive me, y'all, because it's late. I haven't been asleep yet. But, now I didn't forgot the whole thing where I was going. So, yeah. What's gonna happen. You know, I literally forgot the whole trend thing. I really did. Help me, y'all. I'm sorry. So all I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get off here because I'll be on here for too long, so I'm not gonna even do that. So maybe it was a good thing that I did forget because that means it's time to shut it down. But peace and blessings. I hope you guys are doing well and steadfast, stay watchful. You know, whatever you do, don't stop praying. Don't stop fasting when you need to. Whenever the Most High, Yah, convince you to fast, you fast. And, you know, hallelujah.